We're updating face now, right? You can see it down here. Okay, then we close. And this is an isogrid, guys. Hello guys and welcome. Now this is episode 1 in the series where I'll be showing you the tools I'm making with Alibre API. And this first tool, we're going to use it in an isogrid pattern. So bonus content, I'm going to show you how to make an isogrid. Let's get to it. So we start by making a part. We'll call it isogrid, and in that part we're going to start a master sketch. Okay, that master sketch is going to have 2 hexagons that are going to drive our pattern and give us some driven dimensions as parameters. Okay, so this is the first one, and now I'll bring in the second one. First thing I do is I make the 2 circles equal, which makes the hexagons equal, and then I do a reference line from center to center, and I dimension this to be an angle of 30 degrees, and then I'll give this a distance of 5 millimeters. So basically this is the guide almost done. Now we'll start picking up dimensions again as parameters, you know, driven by driven dimensions. So I click here in this drop down menu and I go driven plus parameter. And we're good. Next one I want is this one. Okay. Next one I want is this one. And in this reference line, I need the aligned distance as a reference. And what do I need? Yes. And I also need overall distance for this direction, and also center to center for this direction. And finally, I'm going to go up here, click Insert Axis from Sketch. I'm going to click this reference line, and I'm going to make an axis out of it. So this is our master sketch. Okay, this center to center distance is basically half the spacing along that axis. So is this. This is half the spacing along that axis. And this overall dimensions, we're going to use them to create a plate that our isogrid pattern is centered on. The way we're going to do it is by using the fill pattern equation, but now we're solving for overall distance of the plate. Okay, you'll see how that works in a bit, but that's our sketch basically. So I'll click this and then I'll start a rectangle, just drop it randomly here. And now I'm going to project a sketch. I'm going to bring in my master sketch, everything as a reference. If these are not populated for you, you can select what you want and then click set sketch defaults. That way, every time you reopen the project to sketch dialog, it will come pre-selected as you see it. So I'll hit OK. Yes, I forgot to do something in my master sketch. There you go. You always forget something, don't you? But, you know, it's nice to have the errors in the edit because, you know, you can see what happens. I also need a couple of reference lines like so. Okay. Let's go in there and we need to reproject this. Okay, so here's my rectangle, and I'm going to have a dimension here of 10 millimeters. And I'll have a dimension here of 15 millimeters. Oh, no, not to the center. Yes. No, this will be 15. So now I've placed the top left corner of my rectangle. Okay. So now I need to size it. Well, I'm going to put a dimension in there and go into equations. Okay, let's see what we have in equations. So this will be now the fill pattern equation solved for a distance of the plate. Okay, and this is how it goes. It is the spacing, which in this case is d4 times 2, multiplied by the count minus 1. Now I want to have 4 instances. I'm going to write it as 4 minus 1 just for visual reference instead of just 3, right? And then you add the overall length of the feature, which is d3, and then you add twice the spacing from the edge along the axis you're patterning, which in this case is d8. So that is 411. That sounds about right. I click OK and I lock this in. And then I'll do the same for this direction. And here I need the spacing. Now the spacing in this direction is d7 times 2 times the count minus 1. Now in this direction I'm going to have 8 instances, and plus overall length in that direction, that's d6, plus twice spacing in that direction, which is d9. What does that give us? 492. That sounds about right. Okay. So this is my rectangle, and I'll just go ahead and extrude it, and I will extrude it for 10 millimeters in the other direction. Makes more sense to me. Now we're starting on the actual ISO grid. So we'll get a 7.5 millimeter circle in there. And then I need my master sketch again, brought in entirely as references. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a triangle here. And this triangle, I'll use midpoint with 3 points. I've explained how this works. The third point is constrained to be on the perpendicular bisector of the linear segment defined by the first two. I have an entire video on it. And then I'll make this vertical, and then I want this point to be on here, right? Basically, the top edge of the triangle needs to be collinear to this reference line, and then we make this parallel. And the distance between these two needs to be d2 divided by 2. Now, and this is fully defined. Now, if you remember, d2 is the distance between the two hexagons, right? And the isogrid has a centered hole and then spokes of equal thickness going out from that central hole. So this is what we've created here. And I'm just going to click this and extrude cut for -5 millimeters. Now, I need to do another thing. Bring in my master sketch again. I've brought in my master sketch, and then I need 2 more lines. Okay, this one needs to be vertical, and this one needs to be horizontal. Okay, now I'll get another circle going. This circle needs to be equal to this circle. And midpoint with 3 points. Define the linear segment bound to the perpendicular bisector. And then I select the center of this circle and I make it be on that new horizontal reference line I made. Okay. What do I do then? Click here, get the sketch Harl bar, mirror, click on this line, we get this circle. Same. Click on the circle, mirror, we get this circle. Same. Click on the circle, mirror, we get this circle. And that's about it. And I'll just extrude. It's the same, but you know what? I want the depth to only be driven by this feature. So I'll do up to surface, up to geometry rather, and select this bottom geometry. Okay, we're on our way to an ISO grid. We are. Trust me, it doesn't look like it, but we are. So circular pattern, evenly spaced 6 instances. I want to pattern only this feature around this circular bore. Now this looks more like a isogrid, doesn't it? Then linear pattern, and we will be patterning all of the cuts plus the circular pattern, 2 instances. The direction is going to be the axis that we made, and the spacing is going to be d5. If you remember, that was the length of that reference line between the centers of the hexagons. This looks more like an isogrid. There you go. And we hit OK. Now, what we do is we linear pattern all of the cuts and all of the patterns. Okay. First direction is this one. And we will say that the spacing here is center to center between the 2 hexagons in this direction was d4. d4 times 2, though. We said that's half our spacing. Okay, but we needed to go the other way. And then second direction, let's pick the top edge there. 2 of them, same idea. Now we have d7 times 2. Okay, this looks a lot like an isogrid now. And finally, if you remember, we said we'll have 4 of these and let it calculate, and 8 of these. Now, we're making a hell of a lot of edges there, guys, and it takes a while to calculate. I mean, it's making upwards of 1,200 edges and faces, so it takes a while. There you go. Well, 3,900 faces to be exact. And we hit OK and we commit. Okay, so now this is our isogrid, guys. Look at that. Centers, perfectly equal spokes, and we're done. No, we're not. The isogrid needs fillets because the isogrid is a way to lighten a plate without significantly dropping its bending resistance. It only marginally drops the bending resistance as long as you don't poke through the back. Okay. So this is a structural pattern, so you don't need I picked the face. So you don't want stress concentration points. So all of these edges we will fillet. Okay. And I know how to speed this up. I'll use my select through trick. Okay. And yeah. Oh, I'm very fast here. I'm picking edges very quickly. The edge picker, they called me. It's not a lot of edges. I'll get there eventually. I'm fine. I'm fine.
This is cake. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna die.
No, just joking, guys. I'm not going to pick all of these edges and fillet them. But this is where the new add-on comes. So in here in the add-on bar, I've got my new add-ons selecting, and I'm gonna select ExM, as in Ex Machina. I know, very imaginative. Fillet. And what is ExM Fillet? It's a ruled fillet. So it's basically a fillet between planes. And the way you define the planes is you select a planar face. From that face, a plane is defined, and it fillets only the edges that start from plane A and end in plane B. If they start from plane A and do not end in plane B, they're left alone. So the way this works is this is yellow, so whatever you click goes in immediately. So you click it. Now the face B became yellow. Okay, so I'll just click one of the bottoms, because I just need that face to define an entire plane. So that is adequate. I'll give it a radius of 2.5. Yeah. And then we click, let's zoom out. Drum roll, no drum roll, but we click fillet. Haha. Now look, there are a lot of edges there, right? So it does take a while. If I was doing a simple hexagon, this would be instantaneous. But here, it does take a while. And these API tools, full disclosure, have been vibe coded with Claude, right? So you can actually go to your preferred AI coder, describe what's going on, and get something pretty similar. I used Claude and the MCP files, Alibre published, and it's working perfectly. So it filleted 1,152 edges. And, okay, here's the boast. The edge selection strategy was mine. It was not Claude's. It was mine. Claude's way did about an hour to do this isogrid plate. And mine does not take an hour. It takes a lot less. So we're updating face now, right? You can see it down here. Okay, then we close. And this is an isogrid, guys. Okay, this is a true isogrid pattern with all of the fillets done. Now, there is another way to do the fillets in an isogrid pattern, and it's more parametric and easier, but I just wanted to demonstrate this fillet. Now, a couple of quirks with this fillet. It does create a feature down here. Okay, this is another one I made, not Alibre themselves. Okay, so it's not as polished, but it does create a feature down here. If you go and edit it, it brings up a menu that says legacy fillet. Okay, I don't know what that is. And the real issue with it is these radii are nonsensical and there are no edge selections. So you cannot change the edges of the fillet. But if you go into the equation editor, it does pick it up as a separate feature. Right? You see here, fillet between plates. You also see that it's got the radius in there. And funnily enough, if you change that radius and hit OK, it will take a while again, but those 2.5 millimeter fillet radii will turn into a 1 millimeter fillet radius, and it works reliably, I dare say, as long as you do not change the edge group. Okay? If you add edges, they're not going to be filleted. If you remove edges, I'm pretty sure it's going to error out. But, you know, again, this is something that is to be used as a final touch in a part. Save time where it's applicable. It's not a fully parametric. It's not up to spec of the actual Alibre tools that ship with a program. But if you have a case where you need to fillet 1,000 edges, there you go. Okay, 1 millimeter fillets. This, I'm sure you will agree, is a lot faster. Okay, guys. So that was it. That is the first tool I've made with Alibre API and vibe coding with Claude. And a small announcement here. Now there will be memberships starting on my channel, and you can go check what they are. And all of these add-ons that I show you in this series are going to be available for you to download for tier 3. You download, you keep forever, irrespective of whether you continue the membership or not. There will be memberships starting on my channel. Now, everything that was free is still going to be free. You'll get my videos for free. There are 3 tiers to the membership. There's advanced premieres, there are resource files available, and there are these add-ons. These add-ons you can download once and keep forever. You don't need to continue the membership. So check the 3 tiers out. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed it, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.